If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, and if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up. Hello everyone, and welcome to Kryptonite. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. I am back after a few weeks. Thank you, Colton, for handling the channel for me. A little bit of sad news on my side. I actually lost my father, so that's why I had to go attend and take care of different things. But I am back on the channel, and we're going to discuss with Colton, what's going on, the Ukraine conflict with Russia, and what does that mean. How you doing, Colton?
I'm doing great, Boris. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's discuss a little bit what this conflict is going to mean for the for Bitcoin, but of course for everybody else and everything else that's everything else that's going on with this conflict. So first of all, on your side, what have you seen in the U.S., Colton? What's the the understanding?
Every day, it's something new. Most recently, as of yesterday, we saw the Fox News anchor got shot and killed in Kiev. Actually, a couple people got shot and killed for Fox News. But most of the things that we see here or hear here is, we're not going to step in. They're not part of NATO. We'll do our best, for what we can do. But they're not part of NATO. That's really what the discussion is right now. Is what are we going to do? If we do step in, they're not part of NATO. What does that mean? What we are hearing is, we're still going to continue to send troops to Poland. We're still going to try to help them out as much as we can. But as of right now, we just have the sanctions, with the oil and all that going on. Gas prices are through the roof here in the U.S. right now. Here in Texas, it's okay, but I got family members in Phoenix and Chicago, and they're paying well over $4 to $5 a gallon, So, there's definitely repercussions from this that we have felt in the United States. I think the biggest repercussion, like I said, is going to be gas. I don't think we're going to get our gas, price back down anytime soon. Biden doesn't seem like he wants to open up any of the oil here. But I guess that's what happens when you rely on a country for, a source. But, as far as going into, World War III or anything like that, that has not, been a topic of discussion here in the United States. It's more of how can we help out and not cross the, the NATO contract that we have,
Okay. Yeah, no, it's, there are just a few different scenarios. If it's World War III, obviously none of us will have to worry about Bitcoin prices. Everything will be totally over. If it remains a local conflict just between Russia and Ukraine, we're probably going to see things phasing out in a few weeks, a few months. People won't get interested anymore, even if the conflict is still going on. If it's going on for 2-3 months, 2-3 months from now, they'll still talk about it, but they will concentrate on something else.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole narrative is going to not have really bearing anymore on the stock market or on the crypto markets. If the conflict was to get bigger, if suddenly several European countries get involved, especially if it is some of the major countries like the UK or Germany or France or Italy or whatever, then obviously that could crash most of the markets. Bitcoin could be taken down with it, maybe not, because people see it as an edge. Lots of money have been sent to people to Ukrainians, using crypto. So it's difficult to know if it's going to make it fall. What's interesting right now is we see the price of Bitcoin being very stable.
Mm-hmm.
It has been hovering around, 39,000 for the past literally 2.5 months. So even before the conflict, it was around those prices. It was around 40,000. So it's gone down very slightly. But you see, with all the negative narrative that we see out there, with all the negative news, oh my God, Russia is invading another country, etc., etc., the prices haven't crashed. It's remained around the same price. So looking at this, looking at some other factors, another one is we're hitting record numbers of coins getting out of exchanges, going into private wallets at record pace, which is an extremely good sign. That means that people have no intention of selling those coins. They want to store them in cold storage and not move them anymore. So that means the supply is getting smaller and smaller. So, and also on the shorting, versus longs, the shorts versus longs, there hasn't been much shorting anymore. The longs also have taken a dive, but no one wants to short really Bitcoin right now because they're like, we've tried to make the price go lower and it isn't really going any lower. Even on Monday with the EU decision, prior to the EU decision on whether they were going to ban, Bitcoin or not because of the proof of work and the fact that it is not a very green way of doing things. Proof of stake is much better. So the mining and all that stuff, they were going to looking at banning it. They actually did not ban it. So, but even then, the Bitcoin, prior to the decision and people knowing the decision, went all the way down to about, let's say, 37,100 or something like that. And then it went right back up to 39,000 once they announced that it wasn't being banned. And that's what we see all the time. We see it go up, down, up, down. Today it's up. It's actually even, I think it's above 40,000.
Yes.
So it's just hovering, and everybody's trying to make it go lower, at least the institutions and some other wells that want to say, okay, let's drop it some further down so we can buy more at a cheaper price. But I think the sellers are exhausted. No one wants to sell anymore. Everybody's like, you know what? Things are uncertain. I'm just going to keep the ones I have. I'm not selling anything. So that's why we're not seeing a whole lot of movement. But I think what we're going to see in the coming weeks, coming month, probably we're going to see a lot of sideways action for a little while, nothing moving much. But then if we start seeing some positive news, we're going to see numbers go up. And it's going to be the FOMO type thing, where suddenly people are going to be like, oh my God, it's going up. That's it. We're going back to 69,000. Maybe we're going to go to 80,000 this time. And people are going to start FOMOing in as the price goes up. The other thing that's going to be in play right now is, so today is Wednesday, and decision is coming out today on the Fed on raising, the rate hike that they're going to do on interest rates. We've had that narrative since last year. It's been played out a million times already. I think people are done. People are like, you know what? That's it. We know it's bad news. We know they're gonna raise the rates, and most likely it's gonna be like 0.25% rate increase. But we've heard it in November, in December, in January, in February. It's March. I think people are tired. They're like, we know it's happening. There's no changing this. So we're going to live with it now. And so the whole story about interest rates are going up and, oh my God, interest rates are going up. Or maybe they're not going up as much, or maybe they're going to go up even more than we think. People are done. And so since this is not going to play so much anymore, unless there's some major surprise, like they would go crazy and announce that they are doing 2%, instead of 0.25 or something insane, I think we're just going to see pretty much not a whole lot happen, and then people are going to start moving on and say, you know what, actually, if they're going to raise the rates, you know, uh, it was like that all along. We knew that all along for several months now. So let's just move on and let's buy, some crypto. So I think that it's gonna make it's not gonna have a real impact anymore. And now we're gonna see some more positive news coming out, and most likely we're gonna see the prices start going back up because it's been the factor, the main factor over the past several months that's been keeping crypto on the numbers. So, and like I said, the war, either the outcome is total tragedy and it's going to be, it's basically the end of the world as we know it, or it's going to remain a local conflict and it's terrible for the Ukrainians, but it's not going to change really the life of anybody else, on earth. Or it's going to become a more general conflict, but let's be very careful with that one because I think it'd be a very, very bad idea. That's how World War I started. It had nothing to do with France and Germany, but it was their allies that attacked each other, and therefore it pushed the whole European continent into a major war, for something that was really a local conflict. So I hope people learn from the lessons in history and don't repeat that. Americans and Europeans should really not get involved with Ukraine. They are not our allies, they're nice people. The United Nations should really fight this and say like, okay, we're condemning what's going on. We are, we can provide some help. Maybe let's use those, the blue helmets type thing,
Yep.
but let's not get involved in a war against Russia. That is ridiculous. I think people don't realize like France or Great Britain each have about 400 tanks. Russia, 12,500 tanks. They don't stand a chance. Even the US has only like 5 or 6,000 tanks, I think. Now they're probably better equipped, better equipment, etc. But you don't want to go to war, with 400 tanks when the other sides get over 12,000 of them.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't make sense. What they should really, really do is try to sit down and negotiate with the Russians and say, what is it you want? And what they seem to want is Ukraine never joins NATO, never joins the EU, and just remains neutral forever. Or forever is a big word, but at least, the next 100 years or whatever. And I think, that's not so crazy. I don't think that if Mexico turned communist tomorrow, that the US would be too thrilled if, China was to say, let's put some missiles, right across the border on Mexican territory, pointing at the US. They'd probably be pretty pissed off too. So I think it's just both sides. They need to come to an agreement, but they need to avoid conflict at all costs. I don't think anyone's going to win on that one.
No, sir.
So, but yeah, it's for the civilian that it's always tragic because it's always the civilian that are paying the price for decisions made by a few politicians.
Yes, sir.
We shall see. So yeah, so to me, I don't think the Bitcoin price is going to move much. And if there are some opportunities to buy at lower prices, make sure you keep some cash on the side. And if you see Bitcoin dropping suddenly to 35 or 30, definitely buy a little more. Don't spend all your money on it, but buy a little more, and if it starts going back up, then don't do anything. Don't FOMO in to buy. Or if you have that DCA, like we've talked many times, where you buy on a regular basis, then keep on buying your regular basis. Just keep on buying slowly but surely. Anyway, one thing is almost for sure, is that in 3-5 years from now, whatever you bought today will be a lot higher on crypto money, at least for some of the major ones. For most of the major projects. Anything else you wanted to discuss today, Colton?
From my side, Boris, that's pretty much it. But yeah, you hit everything spot on. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone. We look forward to see you on the next episode of Crypto Night. Thank you. Bye-bye. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.